Chelsea Road, then turn left onto Folgate.
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Photo Walk, and today we found a pile of mufflers. But first I gotta move some stuff. There is a little tiny praying mantis in one of these mufflers. I want to capture him, but I left my macro lens at home. So that'll be for another time. So you might be thinking, what can we do with a pile of mufflers? It kind of looks like music, organ pipes. How do we emphasize that in photography? Okay, how do we make it musical? My first thought is let's isolate these. We're going to imagine that they're pipe organs. We're not going to think of them as mufflers anymore. And so how do we emphasize blaring music out of themselves? I've switched to my 24-70. I want to shoot wide and get in close. So I'm using the distortion of the 24mm to allow the pipes to move out. I'm going to use a flash. I have a Photix Strato 2 transmitter on the top of my camera and then the receiver on the bottom of my flash, so I can take my flash off and give myself super dynamic light. What's great about having dynamic light is that you can pop your subjects out as you're using shadow and light to your advantage. With this subject, the core principle that I'm using is pattern. I'm cutting out everything in the photograph except for what is round, uneven shafts of reflecting cylinders. Those are effects and those are structures. And so I'm looking at what those structures can be. Because a pile of mufflers is a pile of geometric shapes. There really is so much you can do with a single subject. When you start to slow your process down, think about what your subject is first, physically, and then what it can represent. This is a pretty exceptional subject. Not only is there a lot of them, there is a repetition of rounds, and then there's also the reflections. The reflections are so important. That's what gives depth to your images. So, keep your eyes open for a subject that's a little bit out of the ordinary, that follows a general structure, let's say a pattern, that has a couple interesting textures on top of it. Mufflers, their texture is reflection. Creates a lot of depth and interest in your photo. I always love to go for impact. I want to be able to push my subjects a little further than just what they are. I like to imbue them with my own idea of what they can be. Welcome to Tanya Creek, and today we're going to be using some long exposure stuff. Got a tripod. This is reaching what we would consider the golden hour, though it's super gray outside right now, so we're not going to get any kind of nice gold light or anything. But it's at least going to be darker, especially once we get under all the trees. Doing some long exposures of the water flowing should look pretty nice. And the water should definitely be flowing. It has rained all day today, finally let up, and I can already hear it. It sounds pretty much like a roaring torrent. Pro tip, make sure you have batteries.